everyone, Meteorologist Jordan Darensbourg here, and I hope everyone has enjoyed their Saturday evening so far. It was a much more pleasant day than each of the past few where we were cloudy, we were gloomy, we were gross, and most importantly of all, we were cold. And as we take a look outside at that Zach Theater weather camera, we're going to show you today's almanac for today because we really got up there compared to where we had been over the past few days. We got to around 60 at Camp Mabry and we got to 59 at the airport. Now this is still slightly below average, but it is a bit of a step in the right direction from that bone-chilling cold pattern that we had and very nearly that winter weather that we had earlier this week. Now, as we take a look at our temperatures right now, some of us are now back down into those upper 40s, especially out in the hill country. We've got Gillespie County at 46. Some of the cool spots look to be Blanco at 45. We've also got 46 being recorded in Cameron and Llano as well. But our allergy count, this is a bit of a highlight as well for a lot of people because we are looking at mold in the low, and you know what? That's about it. Mold in the low count, and the only thing showing up on our allergy sensor is just such good news. Now, I do want to mention that the cold that we've had could contribute to a lot of this. Now, we are looking mostly dry, so take a look at this radar, but we do see off to our north maybe a few light showers that are popping up over portions of southern Kansas, as well as some snow showers in the higher elevations of southeastern sections of Colorado. Now, I want to mention this, and I want to mention that we're expecting to be mainly dry for tomorrow. That's going to be the key. So this is going to be a dry front that's moving through, but it's a front nonetheless. But for tonight, mid to upper 30s for most of us. Some areas may try to get below freezing out in the hill country, but we're looking at mainly mid 30s along the I-35 corridor. Now for tomorrow afternoon, we're mainly looking at upper 50s here locally. Some areas may try to get to the low to mid 60s depending on how much sunshine you guys get before that front makes its way through. But I'm banking on upper 50s of both Camp Mabry and the airport, but a lot of areas around there could see some lower 60s. Here's that front like what we're talking about. There you see it through the noontime hour of Sunday. It'll sweep right on through and keep that coastal low that's generating a lot of those showers in and around the Houston area at bay. But as we take a look over the next few days, we're going to warm up quite nicely after that front moves through. But Monday, we're going to get only to the lower 50s before we warm up quite nicely, getting up to around 67 for a high. Now let's take a look past the 7-day for a second. This is the European model. This is for Martin Luther King Day. That's a week from Monday at around 7 a.m. And as you can see there, this model pretty much has all of us either dealing with sleet or freezing rain, and some portions of the hill country and off to our north dealing with some snow, but then it would eventually transfer over to all snow briefly before things clear out for the early portions of your morning on next Tuesday, the 21st. Now watch the GFS model here. It's not really picking up on anything at all for that same time period. So I wanted to let you know that yes, our models are picking up on winter weather again, 10 days out again, kind of like the last time we had some of that cold rain earlier this week. But again, there's a lot that needs to be hashed out. And as we continue to roll this forward, we're not going to really see much from the GFS model. So personally, I hope the GFS model wins out rather than the Euro. But during this time of year, the European model usually wins out when it comes to wintry precipitation. So we're going to watch this very, very closely. But don't expect me to lock anything in anytime soon. It probably won't be until around the middle portion of next week where we can really nail down any details in regards to that. But by and large, the next 7 days, we do expect to warm up quite nicely by the time we get to your Friday morning. Look at Friday's high, getting to around 70. And before all of that, we could have a few light showers. It would mainly be east of I-35. A lot of that actually has to do with another coastal low that's going to be sliding on through, and we are going to be much warmer, and temperatures will be in those mid 60s. And so with that, we're going to take a look and see if we have any questions right now. It doesn't look like we do at this particular stage, but I'm going to go ahead and scroll back here. I'm going to take a moment. We're going to look at some of these questions that you have on Facebook, YouTube. The question bar is turned off. Unfortunately, that feature, we don't have that on YouTube, but as we continue to track these for you. We're going to answer any and all your questions. It doesn't look like there's a lot of you on here tonight, around 32, 33 of you. But one of the things that I'm going to talk about is definitely how it has been quite cold, and I know a lot of y'all are wondering about that fire in South Austin. We have a crew on the scene. We're going to have probably the latest on that later on tonight at 10, and we have an article up already now on KVU.com. Make sure you check that out. But yes, so a pleasant evening, but we are tracking the potential of some rain showers at this time next week. And we've got highs coming up that could be in the 70s. So that's key things that we are going to be continuing to watch for over these next few days, especially as we get closer to the middle of next week. And that particular system that could bring that wintry precipitation does come more into focus. Now, I do want to mention 7 to 10 days out, the models usually are just going to be bumbled up, jumbled up, blumbled up, all over the place and all this stuff. But eventually, once we get to like 4, 5, 6 days, then we start to get a little bit of a better idea. There could be some minor shifts here and there. And remember, every little degree matters during these winter months here in Texas. That can mean the difference between just a cold rain to a wintry mix, maybe freezing rain, sleet, and then eventually into snow. So that's very important. Those little things we really watch for around 4 to 5 days out. And then once we get to 2 to 3 days out, that's when we really nail down all the details. And then we tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to be prepared and things like that. But right now, we've got a cold weather pattern going in for next week. Models are inconsistent on precipitation, but we're going to continue to monitor that for you. Doesn't look like there are going to be any questions, so I'm going to go ahead and call it an evening. I will see y'all at 10 on KVU News. But for now, I hope everyone enjoys their Saturday evening.